Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast number 193. My name's Mistletoe, and I'm here with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Atlas. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Mistletoe, and folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast, Friday, May 12th. Another important day over here. Glad to be back with you folks. We are still away from the ARK HQ, heading back tomorrow. Tomorrow's podcast will be happening back from our headquarters. But for today, we're going to be here. We're going to do more Spark Rewards. We're going to have an MVP. We're going to find out what's going on here on the ARK. What we can see, folks, is another day of growth. We're seeing 5,167 ARK Vault accounts. Sheesh. Liquidity. Over on PancakeSwap, again, an everyday, always on the rise, 928,519 BUSD. Getting close to that 950,000. And you know what happens after that? Touching that $1 million liquidity. ILC reserves, 354,441. Saw it moving up around 360, the middle of the 360s today, fluctuating, holding strong. Spark prize pool is at $692.67. Oh boy. Sheesh. And we have also already, amongst our midst, we know who the MVP is today. Definitely brought some heat to the table, some growth. That is the earned part of each podcast, where through the efforts of our investors, whoever really was the most successful, in the past 24 hours, they are being rewarded 10% of the Spark rewards. Quite fantastic. I think it's going to turn into a competitive contest where folks are going to have the opportunity to really go out there and battle for MVP status. We're also gearing up to our 200 consecutive podcast celebration. That's going to be coming in 7 days, 1,500 BUSD to be given away to folks who love ARK. If you love ARK, if you're invested here, if you've taken the time to understand what is special, what is so different about the ARK, and you like talking about it with people, you like expressing the passion that you have in educating, then having the Isle of ARK in your name will spark conversations. Folks say, hey, why is it that you love ARK? What's happening over there? What's different? What are they doing? What do they have coming? You know, we're hearing a lot from the ARK investors, why they're so happy, why they're calm, cool, and collected. So if you want to be the first place winner and take home that day 200 BUSD, make sure to be here. Bring a friend. Bring all of your syndicate here on the 200 podcast, 7 days away. If you're not here and your name is chosen, you will not be able to cash in on that 500 BUSD. We will redraw and we will find here live who is the bona fide winner of the contest. And then we're going to do the rest of the $1,000 in that pool. And I'll be going to winners. They don't not have to be present. At least not as of yet. Maybe we change that. Make everyone be here to cash in. But we do want participation. It worked very well before. And we thank everyone who's proud of being an ARK investor. Happy to answer questions, happy to let folks know if it's about sitting down and explaining to James at the water cooler why this is not exactly like everything else that's gone before. That's a great way to start a conversation. With that, we're going to turn it over to our good friend, Mr. Brett Nordine. Hope you're doing well, sir. I know you
Good.
got us all the information every day. You probably feel like a broken record, but man, the people love to hear what's happening in the sausage room, up to the minute data, and really, you're the best man to bring it.
Yes, just more of the good stuff. But I'm glad you covered all those things, because then the community stays up to speed. There's just so much that gets lost in the sauce. I remember yesterday Brandon saying, "Oh, by the way, I won the MVP yesterday or the day before." It's just we're giving away so much. In a lot of other projects, there's usually one thing, that's just the rotating contest or whatever it is, and there's just so many ways to win here with the MVP, with the sweep widget, and the wheel of the toad, and being a content creator, and then just winning every day with the daily ROI and the vault and the foundation and the legacy NFTs. It's just, wow, there's just so much to talk about. But back to the projects that I'm sweating over, making great progress. Got a first draft, I would say, complete for the light paper. And now we're really involving the experts on the tokenomics side. Had a great conversation with Z today, and following up with some other folks to get the details ironed out as much as we possibly can. Obviously, it's going to be subject to change going into the various pre-sales and also the launch of the privacy token. If you're not aware, we're going to build a privacy network of nodes, essentially, that are built for applications like our DVPN and distributed storage and things like that are going to be essential, as we move forward into this kind of uncertain times in terms of regulatory issues, in terms of just, how do we maintain our privacy when these quantum hacking and abilities for solving encryption that exists today, how do we stay protected during those times? And that's what we're really setting out to do. It's one thing to make a lot of money, but it's another to protect it so that you don't lose it. And I think that's an essential part of our vision and what we want to do for our investors. So yeah, working on the light paper, I would say I've got a pretty good draft and outline finished now, and just getting some details together. Moving ahead, we've kind of targeted softly the 26th of this month to launch the pre-seed contract. We still need to build the front end, but it's not going to be a super complicated, like the vault or anything like that. It's probably more in line with like the foundation in terms of layout and things, but definitely some things to be careful of there. And also just working on finishing up a few things with the sales funnel and getting ready for the Zoom presentations. We do have a meeting tonight about that specifically with all the Zoom presenters. So we'll probably hopefully have a shorter podcast today so we can get to those meetings. And I know Z wanted to have a follow-up meeting as well. So yeah, busy. Never a dull moment here at the ARK, and working on all of the roadmap items. I know Alex made more progress today on the off-ramps. And we're going to be quickly shifting gears and moving on the on-ramps. So those should come sooner than later, with our goal being that we're going to have the virtual card, which is called the AIR card, and also the on-ramp, probably pretty closely stacked together, waiting on some design elements from our designer, and hopefully having the back end all buttoned up by then, hopefully sometime next week. So that's kind of what we're shooting for and working really hard towards. And there's not much else. I'm trying to think of anything else I might not have covered, but I think that's about it as far as project development and the roadmap work that we're really working hard on.
Thank you, sir. Great updates, and some news coming out today out of the UK, folks. It seems that Binance is going to be discontinuing their off-ramp service for pounds to UK residents. So it seems like the ARK on and off ramps couldn't have come at a better time, folks. Stay tuned for more information on that. Looks like the UK is tightening their grip on their crypto investors, enthusiasts. Did you hear anything about that, Mr. Z?
I don't know if he's on, but I
Yeah.
haven't.
uh,
I didn't see that. That's great for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Sorry.
basically now, my bank is not allowing me to make any deposits in pound sterling, so I can't make any fresh buys for any token stocks. Yeah, man, not good.
Don't worry, we got you, brother. You have a home here. James at the water cooler, he's going to sign up too. He wants a physical and he wants an air card. I mean, sheesh. He wants it all. But yeah, there's some other news going around. Let's see if we can find that here. But it seems that there's also some targets as to being able to seize crypto wallets. There's some smoke out in the air. We got to spend some time and get more of the information out here as we understand that. That's how we stay ahead and are really able to offer opportunities and to make our products viable in the markets that are facing quote unquote crises, which we equate to opportunities for everyone else involved here. So let's go ahead and see as we wait for Coach Brad to come in with the all aboard. Let's step in here to the community and see if anybody has a question, a comment, maybe some more information as to what we're discussing here, as we don't have all the full details as of this moment, or any other question you like.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Deshaun.
Yeah.
Welcome
So
aboard.
I kind of have a comment, as long as you guys can hear me clearly. I kind of step onto my proverbial soapbox here for a second. I want to talk just about investing in ARK and not having all your eggs in one basket. I was watching a video earlier and it talked about, obviously you want to diverse your investments. But for me, and I think a lot of people in here, I have most of my eggs in my ARK basket, and I'm comfortable with that. But I wanted to kind of put some context behind that, and it's I'm not here just because of the vault or because of the ILC or because any specific feature. And I think most of us in here, it's like I'm preaching to the choir. We're here because of the community, we're here because of the team, and we're here because of the big picture. We believe in that big picture. And I was hitting a lot of different telegrams, and really after yesterday's conversation, trying to promote ARK, getting a few hits here and a few hits there. And I'm seeing a lot of conversation where I really think people are still hung up on the previous protocols and their experience in 2022, whether it's the hockey stick chart or the LMSs that failed. And you just get a lot of people that are fixated on one specific thing and they can't wrap their head around it. And what I really want to talk about, without getting into the weeds or out throwing shade at any of these other protocols, one of the ones that we talked about yesterday is created with a mutable contract, right? It's designed to pay you 1% a day, 10% in, 10% out. And if it runs out of tokens in that vault, it produces tokens. It's a mutable contract. It's going to do that irregardless of price. If I forked it and created that own contract 2 years from now, it still should be doing that. That's its design. But if you think about it, why would you create it that way? Well, because you're going to set it and forget it and you're going to let it go. You're not there to adapt it. You're not there for the long road. You're not there to build off of it. You set it and forget it. That's why it's immutable. And we don't have that here. We don't have the hockey stick chart. We don't have that immutable problem. We have it designed so we can make changes, so we can adapt, so we can build, so we can create this ecosystem. And if you jump forward to another one that we were all in there towards the later end of 2022, forcing people to hyper compound. It wasn't immutable, but it started to fail, and it was clear that it failed, and it forced that protocol into an LMS. It wasn't created with an LMS. They were forced into an LMS, and the LMS kept dropping because they didn't have a viable solution. But I think people are jaded, and they're stuck in that mindset because they're used to the hockey stick protocol. They're used to constantly checking the LMS reserves because they were told compound forever, don't take profits. And they're stuck on that. And as a talking point, when I'm talking to people today, and why I led with, most of my eggs are here, not because of the vault, not because of the LMS, but because of where we're going. and because of the big picture. And if you think about it, ARK was designed with the ILC from the beginning, right? The contract can be moved, it can be changed. You can add to the ecosystem, and it's all by design. And I think a lot of us here have seen the light. We've had that aha moment, but explaining that big picture is really where I think we're going to bring people in. So like the one thing for me, which it keeps, going over and coming back to, is today everyone's like, oh, the ILC's down, the ILC's down. But think about, in reality, why is it down? Because it's working exactly the way that it should be. The ethos here and the reason why we're here is because we're paying ourselves back every day. We weren't forced to hyper compound. We weren't hit with a hockey stick chart. Every single day I'm taking profit. I've ROI'd, multiple people ROI every single day. We've hit max wallets. The system is working as designed. And the the ILC and ARK, it's given us that buffer to allow us to get to this point. And then now, like Brett's talking about, and like Atlas gave updates, now we're seeing the utility roll. The mass marketing with the Zoom call, all that stuff is coming out, and that's going to give back to the ILC. So what I really want to just reiterate is, when you're having these conversations, it's nice that people, I'm in because of the ARK Vault, I'm in because of this, the ILC this, but it's about the big picture. In the big picture, in the grand schemes, it is working, regardless of whether the ILC drops 50K or 100K. It should be doing that because we're getting paid every single day. I'm not being forced to compound. And then now it's holding steady. And then as these awesome utilities come out and we build out this network and we bring in more people, then we'll kick back to the ILC. I just seen so many people today overly worried about that one metric. And my answer to them is awesome, because it shows that it's working. It's created that buffer. The buffer still exists. And now our utilities are going to roll. And as the utilities roll, we're feeding back into the ILC. As we hit mass marketing and we target the 1.4 billion people that are unbanked, we will grow. And it's about that big picture. So I just want to reiterate, I think we get it here. I think we've had our aha moment, but I'm here and most of my eggs are here, right? Most of my proverbial eggs are here, not because of one thing. It's because of the big picture, where we're going, with the potential that we have here, with the privacy angle, everything. So I just kind of wanted to get on, I guess, my proverbial soapbox and just mention that. People are burnt, but it just explained to them where we're going and what the big picture is. And in the grand scheme of things, the one metric of the ILC is doing what it should be. It's working perfectly. I've never not been able to get my daily ARK.
Hey, Jashawn. Jashawn, we lost you there. It sounded very far away. Mistletoe, are you having the same issue? Hello?
Sound like a mic drop.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It sounded like his phone dropped.
Hope he's not driving. Be careful when that happens. Try to get that phone back up.
We caught the good part though, because he was right on. That was smart. We caught all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jashawn. I don't know if you're still there with us, sir. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Absolutely. We understand the bigger picture. That's why you see us, and you can understand our confidence. It's not coming from a place of ignorance or overconfidence. It's a matter of understanding that everything's working exactly as it's supposed to. And we also understand our audience is there. They need these tools to be able to onboard and offboard easily. We're not sitting around waiting for X or Y or Z person to make up their mind. That's what I think was another flaw with a lot of the previous systems. They were fishing all in the same small pond, sharing the same investors. And if you're not able to shift and to go into a mass market, then you shouldn't be in this business. You're going to have the same result as everyone else. History repeats itself, folks. So you have to do things in a different way. We have a sustainable system. We have to grow the system. It's just a matter of fact and math. I don't know if, Brett, you want to add to that?
Can you hear me okay? I just lost connection there for a
Yes,
second.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
sir,
I think, when Jashawn gets on his soapbox, it's beautiful. Excellent job. I think you described it perfectly, And this is where we are. I think you mentioned it, Atlas. We're going to get in front of these, mini crises and these opportunities that we have to sustain growth during this bear market. And those are going to turn into really, really big wins when, people come back to this market, which we know they will. So, yeah, we just need to be patient. And we know 2024 is going to be, volatile, but leading up to the Bitcoin halving. And by 2025, we're going to be a brand to be reckoned with, I think, in a lot of these spaces. And that's why we're building these verticals that we know are going to be high use case and high utility, high value applications. So, yeah, great job, Jashawn, and well said. And thanks for the DM earlier. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Indeed,
Yes, we
sir.
can.
Yeah, sorry. I got fired up. ARK makes me fired up. Shot my earpiece right across my car. But appreciate the comments. Thanks.
All right, fantastic. Is there anyone else that wants to make a comment? You're more than welcome to. Okay. Well, let's go do some all aboard. What you got cooking, Coach Brad?
Funnily enough, Atlas, I have a fantastic video from Jashawn.
Let's go. Oh, looking forward to that.
Yeah, he is killing it. So he did something a bit different this time. He wasn't feeling too well, but he wanted to make some art content, so he delved into the world of AI, and he created a video with an AI narrator, and it is really good. I was watching it like, damn, everything he does is just gold. So hats off, Jashawn. I'm glad you're here with us this evening. I missed the first part of that conversation, so I'll have to listen over the podcast and catch it, but it sounded very interesting, sir. I know you're fired up whenever you talk about ARK. I can see that in all of the content that you make. So great stuff. The chat has deleted my post from the bot. Let me just put it back in there. Here we go. Yeah, so Jashawn actually made 2 videos. One of them's a little bit longer than the other, but this is the one I decided to go with. I'm sure we'll feature the other one at some point. But yeah, this is a great video. Just love that people are using the technology available to them, and AI is here. I was going to say AI is the future, but it's here. So here we go.
All right, I've been feeling under the weather and my voice is pretty much gone. So this video is going to be a little bit different. Enjoy the pre-recorded, this is not financial advice blurb. And then I decided I'd tip my toes into some AI. So enjoy this video with the nice British AI voice. Thanks.
All right, welcome back. I'm going to get right into this one and let you know that I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this video should be construed as financial advice, and in this video I'm documenting my own journey. It is my opinion, it is for entertainment purposes only.
Today, I am going to give you my elevator pitch on why, if for some reason you aren't in ARK, you should join now. Not financial advice, but my opinion and take on the status of ARK Finance. First off, the team started with a miner on Kronos, called Eternity O. It was a miner built on an immutable contract, which limited the ability to make changes. I am not going to dive into that protocol, but I want to frame why that was important. It gave real-world experience in the crypto space and the DeFi space, allowed the team to grow from an experience standpoint, but also from a personnel standpoint, adding team members with extensive experience and skills that added value to the team. These guys are the best of the best. They aren't a one-man band, they are a team. Then, when moving forward and creating the foundations of ARK, they leaned heavily on DeFi experts, focusing on things that worked well in other protocols, adding their own custom features, then putting everything into this smart, cutting-edge, sustainable protocol. But it's built for the long haul. It's built for longevity. It's built for the big picture, and so is the ARK team, handpicked and uniquely situated for the big picture and the ambitious future of ARK. The ARK Vault went live mid-December 2022 with a non-immutable contract, because when you are pushing the DeFi limits and evolving the space like the ARK team, you need the ability to change. You need to be flexible and dynamic. This allows ARK to plan for the future. And what a future they have planned. It isn't an accident that things are working smoothly. It isn't an accident that so many investors have ROI'd. It isn't an accident that the ARK community is the best community in DeFi. Nothing in ARK is an accident. It is carefully structured, molded, developed, crafted. Whatever word you want to give it, it is purposefully built for success. And we are seeing that now firsthand. And everyone has the opportunity to jump on now. We are all early. We just hit 5,000 wallets. That is a drop in the bucket compared to where the team plans on bringing us. Maybe even a fraction of a drop in the bucket. Here we go. Here's the chart. Look at the price stability. From inception through current. Awesome. The main product, which I will hit on, is the ARK Vault. A daily ROI app. You put BUSD into buy ARK tokens. Then the ARK token is automatically deposited into your vault. Your daily ROI is paid out in ARK tokens. The only way you can get ARK tokens in your wallet is to earn ARK tokens through the ARK Vault in your daily rewards. Why is this stable? Because of the Intelligent Liquidity Controller, or the ILC. This is not an LMS. The ILC is designed to keep the price stable and move on a nice curve, similar to a blue chip stock or blue chip crypto. It's not pegged to a price or range, but it moves dynamically by assessing the health of the protocol, looks at liquidity, reserves, liabilities, and as it's taking the protocol's pulse, it can adjust dynamically to keep everything smooth. The protocol was designed to operate this way. It was not forced to jump into this in a panic, but again carefully built this way with the custom ILC. So if you join the ARK today, you are getting the same price as those who joined at launch, which means there is never a bad time to join. All investors get the same opportunity. The only difference is the time you join. Let's take a look at the current suite of ARK products. This includes the ARK Vault, which is a daily ROI app, where users can make up to 2% a day. There are awesome features such as NDV and CWR that help with sustainability. And unique to ARK, you can split your daily reward allocation, with a portion being compounded and a portion being withdrawn. You can not just compound, the protocol forces you to ROI. In fact, the default allocation is 50% compound, 50% withdrawal. This makes the whole process smooth, avoiding hyper-compounding and massive drain on the contract at Max Wallet. For a more in-depth overview, check out the ARK Finance white paper. It is a DeFi masterpiece. The foundation, which acts like a DeFi savings account. You deposit BUSD. That gets paired with ARK tokens to create bond. This adds to the liquidity and pays out a daily yield, which is variable. Currently we are seeing an approximate 160% APY. There is a 10% tax in and a 10% tax out. You can withdraw at any time, and having $250 in bond qualifies you for the daily Spark rewards. Legacy NFTs. There are 3 levels: the silver, the gold, and the platinum. These also qualify your wallet for Spark rewards, but also give you ownership into the protocol and provide revenue share. If you have had an NFT since the day ARK went live, you have been paid back 40% of their cost. These pay out daily, and are only going to get better with added protocol revenue that is on the way. 33% of the protocol-generated revenue will get added to the NFT reward pool. As more revenue comes in, the daily rewards will increase. Owning a legacy NFT is a fantastic option with incredible upside. Let's talk quick about daily rewards. First, we have the Spock rewards. Every day, ARK Vault participants with at least $250 worth of bond in the foundation, or those with a legacy NFT, qualify for the daily Spark raffle. This is drawn daily on the ARK Daily Podcast live on Telegram at 4 p.m. Eastern. The current Spark rewards are in the high 700s. Winning sends the ARK tokens into your vault as a referral reward, boosting your NDV and sending your vault into Nitro mode. The newest addition is the daily MVP. Every day, the syndicate leader that brings the most ARK into the protocol through referrals is rewarded 10% of the daily Spark prize pool. This ARK is directly sent to the winner's ARK Vault as a referral reward. This is a great bonus for syndicate leaders and encourages competition. A quick note on the Spark rewards. ARK has a referral system that utilizes round robin. It is a 15-tier system. Unlike other protocols, when a compound is made, if there is no qualifying wallet to catch the reward, it goes to the Guardian wallet, which is ARK's version of a dev wallet. Every day, 50% of those rewards captured are used to pay out the Spark rewards. Now, what about future products? ARK Finance recently released their roadmap, and it is pure fire. So many things coming, all providing utility and revenue back to the protocol. We have the fiat on-ramp, the virtual prepaid debit card, the physical debit card, the decentralized VPN, and a strategic investment. One thing to consider is not only the actual products from a use standpoint, but also from a revenue-generating point of view. It is important to separate your personal view and likelihood to use a product from the actual global appeal and the market share that ARK can capture. For example, let's say that you already are satisfied with your crypto on and off-ramp process, and maybe the debit cards aren't for you. That's fine, because there are 1.4 billion unbanked adults in the world that could benefit from it. If ARK can capture a fraction of those people, the utility will kill it and bring in serious revenue. Additionally, consider the global market for VPNs in fiscal year 2022. It was $44.6 billion, and by 2030 it is projected to be a $130 billion industry. Again, ARK just needs to capture a fraction of that market share. With that being said, I am excited to try several of these products, but more excited by the potential revenue they will bring to the protocol, to the ILC, and to legacy NFT holders. Let's continue with future products. We have the migration to Polygon ZK EVM. I will go into this a little more in depth in a minute. Now, we also have the ARKG on-chain gold token. With the current economic uncertainty, the regulation concerning BUSD, and the general FUD with stablecoins, this move is a no-brainer. This change will give us a hedge against inflation and provide us a tangible real-world asset to back our token. This will also generate additional fees, providing revenue. The DEX AMM and CryptoBank all fall in line with the big picture and where we are going. I already mentioned the unbanked. The potential is real here. It is mass potential, and the ARK team has us firing on all cylinders in the right direction. We definitely have to mention the privacy token. This will be the governance and utility token for the network that we will be building on Polygon ZK EVM. Shortly, there will be a pre-seed sale, where ARK investors can pledge their ARK tokens into a contract to secure the new token. Those that contribute will receive tokens based on the BUSD value of their ARK, and we will have the opportunity to earn yield on that value, which we can compound with additional deposits or will add cumulatively after the pre-seed period. Now this is subject to change, and there will be additional information. But this is a huge utility and opportunity for those in the ARK Vault. Very quickly, yet important, is the revenue split. As of now, 33% back to legacy NFT holders, 33% to the ILC. This will keep the ARK price nice and steady. Then 33% to the ARK treasury. So we can keep expanding and refining the revenue sources. This is super bullish. The move to Polygon ZK EVM has many advantages, and considering the goal of building a privacy network, this is the ideal chain for ARK to move to. Let's consider several things here. First, Polygon ZK EVM is a zero-knowledge proof rollup. Now, at their core, rollups were designed to help scale blockchains. They aren't designed as standalone blockchains. Polygon ZK EVM was designed to help scale Ethereum. As Ethereum migrated to proof of stake, it was thought that sharding would be the main scaling mechanism. However, advances in rollups occurred, and now layer 2 solutions, such as rollups, are the primary mechanism for scaling Ethereum. So think about this. Ethereum has the second highest market cap of all cryptos, more DeFi protocols than any other blockchain. It is number 1 in TVL for all DeFi chains, and it has a huge issue with gas fees. During this recent meme coin madness, gas fees surged to over $100 for simple trades. Now degens will move to any chain. They go where the money is, but true Ethereum maxis will not. They are all Ethereum or nothing. Since Polygon ZK EVM is a chain built to scale Ethereum, there is a huge potential to bring in investors from Ethereum to ARK Finance. These investors would never go to BSC, Avalanche or Solana. They are Ethereum or bust. With rollups being pushed as the primary scaling mechanisms, there is huge potential of TVL coming from Ethereum. Not only that, but Vitalik Buterin, the Ethereum founder, sent the first transaction on Polygon ZK EVM. This is super bullish, and Polygon ZK EVM is poised to be the main scaling option. It offers security, privacy, scalability, and cheap fees. It is almost as if it was designed for ARK and the future privacy network. Let's quickly talk about zero knowledge. There are a lot of neat analogies, and there is a fantastic video that we watched during one of the ARK podcasts explaining zero knowledge. I will link that video in the description. It's a great watch. There are 2 types of rollups that are providing scaling currently. We have optimistic rollups like Optimism and Arbitrum, and then zero-knowledge rollups like ZK Sync and ZK EVM. I am going to attempt to use one analogy to explain the difference and show why zero-knowledge proofs are superior. This analogy isn't perfect, but I want to simplify the contrast here. Imagine you have a deck of cards. You and 3 friends are playing a card game. The deck is split evenly, so each of you have 13 cards. Now we need to prove which person has the ace of spades. In an optimistic rollup, it assumes that a transaction sent is valid, or it is optimistic that it's valid. But in order for it to be finalized, it has to review all the data to make sure that it isn't fraudulent. So let's say that we send a transaction indicating that you have the ace of spades. In order to finalize it, we need to send everyone else's cards and all the other cards in your hand, so the system can look for potential fraud. Then after a period of time, if there is no fraud found, the transaction can be finalized. Now, imagine if each of those cards held private information. Imagine if all over the card except for the symbol was information that needed to remain secure and private. Maybe it has bank account numbers, passwords, or medical information. This would all need to be shared in order to verify that there was no fraud. Not only that, but all this extra stuff takes up space. It loads up the transaction with extra data. Now, let's consider zero-knowledge rollups. When we submit a transaction here, the system assumes that it is wrong, and we just need to prove that it's valid. So, instead of having to reveal all the other cards, which could contain sensitive information, we just need to reveal the symbol for Ace of Spades. By showing that symbol, and that it was in our hand, that was enough. The transaction gets validated. We don't reveal all the extra information, and the transaction is smaller, because we didn't need to jam in the extra information. Now, currently, zero-knowledge proofs are more computational intensive, which is good and bad. This means that it is very hard to hack, even for quantum computers, but this also means that the true potential for unlimited scalability will reach a threshold until computers reach that stage. However, zero-knowledge proofs are here now, and will be the future. Enough analogies. Let's quickly talk about Polygon itself. The current Polygon chain that most of us are familiar with is a side chain. It is a separately functioning chain that ties back to Ethereum through bridges. It was designed to help scale Ethereum, but it is not a roll-up, it is a separate chain, which is why it uses Matic for gas, instead of Ethereum-like roll-ups. Polygon itself is super popular, and has become a partner with huge mainstream companies like Disney, Nike, and others. There is huge potential here for those companies to not only build on Polygon, but also move to ZK EVM. All super bullish. Here you can see the roll-up process, and how it works. Multiple transactions are bundled off-chain into a single transaction. That single transaction is sent to Ethereum's main chain for validation to be written to the blockchain. By batching the transactions, you allow users to pay only a portion of the fees. The more transactions to be batched, the cheaper the fees. In essence, as volume increases, the transaction fees decrease. Now, ARK can build their privacy network on top of this. In this scenario, ARK privacy transactions would be bundled into a single transaction. That single transaction would be sent to Polygon ZK EVM. Then it would be combined with other transactions on the network there, batched into a single transaction, then sent to Ethereum to be added to the blockchain. You have 3 layers of validation with multiple levels of ZK proofs. This is the ultimate in security and privacy, with fees so cheap you don't even notice you paid a gas fee. As I said much earlier, this isn't an accident, it is planned. And when I look at the big picture, the 5,000-foot view, and truly think about where ARK started, where we are now, and where we are going, not only is this planned, but this is genius, almost poetic. With the current global conditions, there is a huge need for these products. ARK has recognized this problem. They aren't complaining about it. They aren't just offering a solution. They are building it, and they are bringing the ARK community with them. As much as times seem uncertain and trying, I see the light, I see a plan, I see an ARK, and I am on it. Jump aboard the ARK today. Consider joining my syndicate. There will be a link in the description. I am Jay Vanquish. This is how I play the ARK. ARK for the
I thought that was a great video. I was absolutely pumped watching that. I saw it earlier today, and obviously I've just watched it again now. Great content, Mr. Vanquish. Hats off to you, sir. Everything you do seems to be absolutely fire. Keep up the great work. Do we have any comments or questions about that video today?
I'll have to ask permission from New York State if he wants to leave the state.
Yeah, I tell you, I love. It was actually like a review for me, because I had been trying to dig into the ZK stuff with all the roll-ups and how this is going to affect with moving forward. And this is kind of like a review. So I'm glad that he was able to put that in and show a review on that. So good stuff and great knowledge. I mean, I hope everybody here was able to listen to that and just kind of get an idea of where ARK's going with this new network.
Yes, sir. Absolutely amazing. I love the explanation there with the playing cards of the ZK roll up and how to really understand it in it with an analogy that can make a lot of sense to a lot of people here. Fantastic job. Can you hear me okay, guys? My connection is not stable where I am. Okay,
we can hear you.
I appreciate it.
I thought it was so awesome hearing the posh British voice saying, "Ark is fire."
No-brainer. You got your no-brainer in there? You got it in.
Yeah, I caught that.
That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And, the great spirit and the belief and the understanding. And, folks, we've seen what we've been working on just play out perfectly. I mean, from the beginning, there were so many folks. Don't even launch the ROI app. Are you crazy? No one's going to go in there. No one's going to come in. They're jaded. It's like, listen, this is exactly what they need. And everything has its ups and downs, folks. It's not every day can be a massive win. And that's where I think you see what teams are about. Everybody wants to be CEO, and it's IPO day, and they're ringing the bell over there on the floor of the stock market. But when things are tough, that's when you need to, I think, even be more present and forward facing and keep the folks focused, calm, collected, understanding the bigger picture, and understanding that everything's working exactly as intended. And the original ARK wasn't built in a day. Things take time to be done correctly, and that's what's going to set us apart from pretty much, I think, everyone else. That the quality of the work here, the vision, the understanding, what's reality, what can be accomplished today, how much time, how much effort, how much money has to be invested, and then going and executing. And we've proven that when you build it, they will come. And the narratives are going to keep playing right into our hands. And I've always said this, folks, the worse it gets, the better it's going to be for us here. And that's not fear mongering. It's just reality. It's understanding that solutions to problems are going to be needed desperately. We're not through the worst. There's a lot of folks now, going around crying about the Pepe, and they got played again, and they're feeling the heat, and they've hit themselves and crashed and wrecked themselves into that same wall over so many times, and they're going through the same emotions, thinking that by doing the same thing, they were going to have a different result. And we all know how that ends. We've all heard, little Jimmy over there crying. And I think it's just instant karma, and folks need to understand that if they want to go and gamble and speculate, go ahead and do so, but just understand the risk. We know what we've built here. We know what we have in our hands. We know what we're developing. We know who's going to be coming. We understand smart money, VC money is knocking on the door here at ARK, and we're going to continue to work at this fast pace, but making sure to do everything we can. Safety, security, privacy as a number one priority for all investors here. And there's just so much that we're adding on top, all these different layers. So just Sean, thank you so much for understanding and conveying that. We're going to shill that video from here to the end of the globe, through all the wide ocean, and cast that net. You are an absolute inspiration, a great leader, and someone that we're honored to be standing shoulder to shoulder with here. Thank you.
I just want to add a quick comment. Thanks for showing the video. I appreciate it. The boost in audio throughout was not by design. So that's, I guess, a product of video editing when you're under the weather. And I did a follow-up video almost immediately the next morning, going more in depth on ZK proofs. The example that I gave was kind of designed to be an analogy to draw, to show the difference between the optimistic rollup and the ZK proof. And then after that night when I was thinking about it, I wanted to talk specifically more about the proof. So I did do a follow-up video also with the nice British AI voice with 2 other examples specifically talking about the ZK proof if it wasn't clear on that video. But I appreciate it and thank you for the video.
All right. Well, we're going to look at that tomorrow. And we've already, had a conversation with Z to continue to bring more ZK information here and education. We want to make this a centerpiece of the process of learning so that everyone can really develop confidence with the knowledge that they're going to receive as to where we're going and why we're going there and why it's so important. Why there's, we say the grass is greener, folks. There is no doubt about it. And when it comes to the tides rising, we want to be on the arc and we want to be on the right side of history because we're going to, make it here every single day, writing it and creating this story that is going to bring so many more testimonials. So with that, let's go ahead and turn it over to Mistletoe and the Wheel of the Toad. It's that time.
Oh, yes.
How many people?
Oh, yes.
How many people? Dying to know.
Today we got 72, so they're picking up. They're picking up in the week. They might be taking the weekends off. I think they're setting the auto allocator for the weekend and enjoying the wife and kids.
Yes, the great life that the ARK affords its investors.
Yes, exactly.
As Bizzy Dips likes to say.
Awesome. So this is the Wheel of the Toad, as they like to call it. If this is your first time here, this is the daily sweep widget giveaway we have live on the podcast. Every day we post a new sweep widget link live in the main chat, pinned in the main chat, in the announcements channel, in the contest and giveaway topic. So it's pretty easy to find. All you have to do is go onto that post, click the link there. You're going to be redirected to a task list. It's going to range from liking comments on YouTube videos, retweeting some Twitter links, clapping on some Medium articles, visiting some websites. And once you do all of those, your name is going to appear on this lovely wheel right here. And if we land on your name, you'll win $50 to $100 worth of BUSD. It's that simple. Oh, yeah. Moo indeed. And it really helps the content creators push that algorithm, so please get involved. And our other contest, if you are not aware, everyone in here rocking the ARK, we are also having another contest for the 200th podcast. I believe that is May 19th. That is also 4 p.m. Eastern. All you'll have to do is put ARK at the end of your name and send a screenshot to myself, and you'll be entered to win up to $1,500 worth of BUSD. So you definitely not want to miss that one. And that one's super easy. That one you just have to rock the ARK. And I know everyone here loves ARK, so that one's super easy to get involved. So do be sure to participate and come join us for the number 200. With that being said, let's give away some money, Atlas.
Let's do it on the count of 3, 2, 1. Let 'em rip.
Congratulations, Nawaris. You've won $50 worth of BUSD. Thank you for entering.
And thanks to everyone that participated today. This is what organic growth on the ARK is all about. It's very effective. We're letting the algorithms know about these great content creators, these leaders who are taking their time, sharing their journey, educating, conveying their passion, their love, their understanding of ARK and everything that's here, and printing every single day for all the investors. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's understanding the journey. It's a multi-year journey, folks, that we're on here. Absolutely fantastic. And we have another big giveaway to do. And let's go right into the Spark Rewards. We're going to also reward today's most valuable player from the leaderboard. So let's make it happen. If you want to win tonight, you believe this is your day to win the Spark, go ahead and call that Sparky out. There it is, folks. We have today's winner. Their wallet ends in F0DA. They've won 663.36 ARK. That is a street value, my friend, of $3,787.71. Their first-time winner. And the MVP for today, their wallet ends in EF28. That's 73.71 ARK, $420.86. We want to congratulate both of them. Nitro mode, all the way, 2% NDV energy boost, just flying right through the top of that range. Congratulations, folks. And let's go ahead, in the interest of time, turn it over to our very own crypto DeFi expert, Mr. Z. How are you doing today, sir?
Before we get started, did you see the amount of referrals the person that won got, the daily syndicate MVP?
Oh, yeah.
19. Oh, my gosh. Congratulations. We deserve that.
Well deserved and earned. I mean, this is turning to a effort, contest. Who's really out there paving the cement and doing the education and going out of their way to grow their syndicate, but also help so many of their friends, family, co-workers out there, and everyone else who's invested here. This is what it's about, folks. It's about what you can do to contribute your grain of sand. Everybody here has an opportunity, and those folks that really step up are going to have this great opportunity every single day to shine and to take that win home, turn ARK recruitment into a business. There's a lot of folks living paycheck to paycheck out there. I mean, what a great business to have, bringing into the hands of so many that fantastic print we call the ARK. Mr. Z?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Are you impressed? 19 referrals in a day.
Oh, yeah. Go get it. Let's go. Absolutely. Now, it's always a great day at the ARK. Always, the community's always working together. And, 19 referrals. That's super. Congratulations. Yeah, let's look into. Let's start off and look into the price action right now. And currently, we're seeing Bitcoin at 26. We're in the 26K zone, and we kind of predicted this for the whole week. So to see it here shows us that, to follow market trends, to not be buying tops, and always look at price action. And currently, we're pulling back from 26K a little bit. Let's see if we pull back into the 27K zone, or do we dip back into 26,000 and below. So I personally think we're gonna keep going down because of the way it's structured out on the 4 hours. And I think in the future, I think we're going to be looking at the 4 hour chart more and more, so people can see the more long-term approach to price action. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. You have so we've entered 26,000 zone, and let's see how the weekend plays out. Let's get into the news now. Now, something happened in Florida today. I don't know if any of you read about this, but you can say Governor DeSantis did have you can say a bill drawn out to ban CBDCs, and today that bill became law. So this is the title here. Florida governor signs CBDC bill into law, restricting some uses of U.S. and foreign CBDCs. So now it's become law now, where in Florida there is not going to be any utility for central bank digital currencies, and these are some quotes coming from DeSantis himself. So he goes, "I don't think they would have done that if they don't intend on implementing this." And on CBDCs, he issued, it would be a massive transfer of power from the consumer to a centralized authority. He further on sort of talked about the threat it has to all cryptocurrency overall, because I think that they want to crowd out and eliminate. I think they want to crowd out and eliminate other types of digital assets like cryptocurrencies, because they can't control that, so they don't like that. Big, strong statements here. So here's some more quotes from him. So he goes, "We looked at that and said we are not going to add a central bank digital currencies to our commercial code, but we also said we need to add protection to Floridans against this. And so we'll put in the uniform commercial code that CBDCs is something we don't recognize." What else did he sort of had to say here? So now another quote that says, "This bill stipulates that transactions involving CBDCs won't be afforded the usual UCC protection, potentially dissuading entities or individuals from engaging in such transactions with CBDCs." So yeah, really, really strong statements from DeSantis, and to see central bank digital currencies banned in Florida is a really, really big thing. And he basically went on to basically quote others about adding protection to their states, and also taking the same approach in banning CBDCs. So that's one big thing that DeSantis did for Florida. Let's carry on.
Hey, Z, North Carolina has the same bill as well. Another state.
That's beautiful, really. I'll read up on that.
Is this? Pardon me. But is this not a federal thing as well? Because how could they control how they run the state? But could banks basically push this despite this local state regulation because it's federal, because it could be federally mandated?
Thus far, I haven't seen it from sort of the administration for it to become federal. yet, and the U.S. currently has no plans of releasing a CBDCs, unless I'm wrong. I don't think it's and I think the more states that adopt this sort of angle, I think they'll really question the use case of CBDCs or rebrand it, or because when you look into like central bank digital currencies overall, it sort of allows for the state to keep printing. That's the thing. The whole point of cryptocurrencies is to keep a limited supply, so it sort of keeps a balance between supply and demand, and sees something in price, and an appreciation. So let's see. I'd like to see how this further goes into 2024, especially into the year of elections, how this all plays out. So yeah, currently I don't. Yeah.
Pardon. So no federal thing, and so for example, say there's a efflux from very liberal states that are woke. That's a side point, but perhaps they would be CBDC friendly, like Cali. So then they would go to Florida, and they would not be forced down their throat, basically, to swap to CBDC in the future because the state is now posturing against it with local regulation. Is that what you're feeling at this point?
Yeah, I think this was sort of first. I saw this as a draft, and then I saw Minnesota and a few other states take the same sort of regiment. So if this continues, I don't think the U.S. will see a CBDC, because you can't have you need all the states to basically be united for it to be federal. So we'll see how this plays out. But currently, this is what it's looking like. There's big sort of drawback against it.
We do have in July the FedNow product from the Federal Reserve that's going to be launching, and it's their instant payments platform. Now, it's not mandatory that all banks and credit unions use it. It's optional at this point, and I think it's just their rollout and their test. But we'll have to see how this plays out. I do see your point there, Nito. If they're going to be starting to use this as an airdrop, helicopter airdrop stimmies. Hey, you lost your job. We're going to send you, a nice little bonus here for you to be able to go and buy food and get the things you need. That's just my personal, kind of opinion as to how they will probably start sneaking this in and start with the folks that are struggling, that don't have an option, that are going to use a product so they could feed themselves, pay their rent, and through that start just getting the herd in and take market share and eventually make it, the de facto only, option. But that takes time.
Yeah, like food programs or UBI in the future, that could definitely be through this rollout, regardless of what states try to control.
Correct.
Yeah.
But positive news. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So the other thing I have for like news is sort of DeFi related. And today, MakerDAO is quite big in DeFi. If you guys go to DeFi Llama, you'd see how much total value lock they have. I think it's in the top 3 or top 2 or the top 5, and it's always going to remain that way. So they have one of the biggest stable coins in DeFi called DAI. And today they published their 5-phase roadmap featuring funding for open source AI project. So this is quite big. So they started to give their roadmaps away a little bit of how they're going to be basically looking into going into things like layer 2s and what's further ahead for MakerDAO. So let's kind of read through a few quotes. So MakerDAO, the decentralized autonomous organization behind DAI stablecoin and its related Maker governance token, recently announced a slew of plans updates to its ecosystem, including a heavy focus on AI, artificial intelligence, and the planned development of a new blockchain. Beginning with an upgrade to unify the organization brand, the new roadmap details a 5-phase project called Endgame. Endgame, really close to the Vitalik Buterin blog, right? So let's quickly go through these 5 phases to see what they have upcoming. So the first phase, this phase will establish a new unified brand for the ecosystem with a full rebrand and new website. So the first thing that they're going to do is a rebrand. So it is also it also introduces new tokens to the revamped ecosystem under the codename New Stable and new governance token. So yeah, the first thing MakerDAO are going to do is they are going to rebrand. DAI and Maker will not be altered, but users will be able to upgrade to New Stable and new governance token. So New Stable will be a new ERC20 wrapper of the same underlying stable as DAI. It will be more DEX. It will have more DEX liquidity than DAI and reward distribution platform. DAI users will be able to upgrade to New Stables or on-ramp back to DAI 1-to-1 instantly and in unlimited quantity. Really interesting. New government token will be a redominated version of Maker with a larger supply. It will obtain by upgrading Maker to 1-to-1200 ratio, and will have token gated access to governance AI tools. Really, really cool. Phase 2, sub-DAO launch. With the launch of 6 Maker sub-DAOs and their new stable token farms, MakerDAO is set to streamline its workload and complexity, making governance more efficient than ever before. Stage 3, MakerDAO plans to revolutionize governance with the launch of product-grade AI tools. Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. So they're going to have AI tools to revolutionize with the launch of product-grade AI tools for improved decision-making. Also, stage 4, governance participation incentive launch. So this is like an ROI DApp, I believe. So of the MakerDAO roadmap is focused on governance participation with the launch of Sagittarius Lock Stake Engine. So lock up your liquidity and earn rewards. And then what else? Launch of 6 farms and then new chain launch and final endgame state. So the last phase of the MakerDAO roadmap is focused on launching the new chain, a blockchain that will house all backend logic for sub-DAO, tokenomics, and MakerDAO governance security. So yeah, we'll go into much more detail as we get through the following days and weeks. Really, really interesting you can say, roadmap ahead for MakerDAO. And if we go to DeFi Llama real quick, we'll see that MakerDAO is, top 2. So just below Lido, with most total value locked at 6.92 billion. Big OGs in crypto. So we'll see how they work out. But yeah, that's the main headlines. You have a 26K Bitcoin. You have Florida governor signing the CBDC bill and passing it as law. And then you have a MakerDAO with their 5 phases of roadmap. A new stablecoin, a new governance token, and it's going to be really AI related. Be really, really cool. So we'll keep you updated with that. But yeah, that's sort of, yeah.
Thank you so much for this. I posted a link to you regarding Twitter. I'm not sure if that is of interest, but it does change the narrative a bit on how. I'm not sure what your thoughts on this new potential CEO, the new Twitter CEO from the WF, who worked at WF before.
The last I heard, I think it's just Elon went down from CEO to CTO, right? So he's the Chief Technology Officer now at Twitter. Who is the new CEO of Twitter?
Linda Yaccarino. I posted a link to you. You could share that if you would like to add this, maybe. But she worked at the WF, so it seems like it's back to deep state traditional. You know what I mean? I don't know if how to change your perception of Twitter now, because it tells you something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big, man.
Yeah.
What's her name? What's her name again?
Yeah, Linda.
Linda.
Carino.
Wow. So Elon Musk has announced he has found a new Twitter CEO. The New York Times, Wall Street Journal reported she is NBC's Universal Executive. NBC, interesting. Linda Yaccarino, the head of advertising of NBC, excited to announce that I've hired a new CEO. She will be starting in 6 weeks. He added that his role within it will go down. Yeah, I wanna see her background check. I wanna hear more why he went with her, and yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll look into it a little bit. This is super.
Yeah. A buddy told me she worked at the WF. I mean, what does that tell you based on that? He has connections with the WF, Davos, and all that. It's no longer like kind of a free, you know what I mean, square as they say. You know what I mean? Like, it changes what their vision is based on this hire. Yeah.
Yeah, World Economic Forum, Davos. That's super interesting to see. Yeah, it changed. Like for me, Twitter has to stay the way it is right now, and not shadow ban people. So I would like to see what her opinions on when it comes to shadow banning and all these different fronts. But I need to do my research.
It would be deep state kind of now, right? Yeah. So it's back to the original plan, despite his acquisition.
Easy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Check out what I sent you. Let's look at what's going on with Binance over in Canada.
Oh yeah. Like so they've banned what's it called? Like there's no more Binance in Canada, right? Like they sort of like I saw the tweet from
I sent you links. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'll read this. So Binance announces exit from Canada, citing regulatory tension. That the world's largest crypto exchange by volume said new guidance related to stablecoins, investor limits prompt the exit. Yeah, let's read this a little bit. So quotes say, this is bad. They go, we had high hopes for the rest of the Canadian blockchain industry. Unfortunately, new guidelines related to stablecoins and investor limits provided to crypto exchanges makes the Canada market no longer tenable for Binance at this time. Yeah, I was reading through this tweet earlier today. I mean, we have this announcement. We have I don't know if it's temporary or not, but in the UK, I'm not able to deposit. I mean, I can withdraw crypto, but I can't deposit using my card on Binance UK. So yeah, let me read this whole tweet and then we'll conclude it. But so they go, we would like to thank the regulators who worked with us collaboratively to address the needs of Canadian users. All by a small market, it held sentimental value for us at the home country of our founder. We had high hopes for the rest of the Canadian blockchain industry. Unfortunately, the new guidance related to stablecoins and investor limits provided to crypto exchanges makes the Canada market no longer tenable for Binance at this time. We put off this decision as long as we could to explore other reasonable avenues to protect our Canadian users, but it has become apparent that there are none. Our remaining Canadian users are receiving an email with comprehensive information on how this will impact their account going forward. Whilst we do not agree with the new guidance, we hope to continue to engage with Canadian regulators aimed at a thoughtful, comprehensive regulatory framework. So they're basically like they're giving a sign to the Canadian regulators or like the government here. To have a more liberal approach. We're confident that we will someday return to the market when Canadian users once again have the freedoms to access a broader suite of digital assets. That's sad, man. Canada has a bunch of, you can say, a big crypto industry there. I think there's a bunch of protocols based on Binance and ERC20 that are based in Canada. And I think CZ also lived a little bit of his life in Canada, right? So yeah, that's sad.
Correct. We need a bigger boat.
He's beginning to believe.
You know, these are more customers that are going to be looking for these fiat on and off ramps, folks. It's happening. It's not an accident while we're here.
Absolutely.
Pardon me, Z. In your impression and Atlas, the perception now is what seems to be occurring is they're shutting down, you know, to pave way, to reduce competition and pave way for CBDC in each jurisdiction, right? And that's what we're going towards, right? That's what you're putting the dots together for, right?
That's
Canada,
part of it.
UK, US.
But it's bigger than that. We've talked about this several times, NATO. It's control. We're not trying to kill the game. They're trying to control the game for their benefits. We're also seeing information coming in from the Royal Bank of Scotland saying they are not going to allow more than 5,000 per transaction pounds, with the interest of protecting their investors from getting into crypto scams. So 5K a month, folks. RBS. Take that to the bank. Bigger
He's
boat.
beginning to believe.
Bigger boat. Let's move the conversation onto the Q&A in the interest of a 1-hour podcast, folks. We want to thank everyone for coming out today. Congratulations to the new Spark winner, their first time winner that has officially gone into the Nitro mode. 663.36 ARK. That's amazing, folks. And again, congratulations to today's MVP, 19 referrals, bringing in the liquidity, bringing in the smart money, putting smiles on so many faces of these investors. Let's get this crypto, folks. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. UTC. Please take care of each other. Take care of yourselves as well. And we'll see you tomorrow.